Hi, today we are here to discuss about something called hydrostatic lock. You would have seen a lot of vehicles, even the high-end ones, getting stalled on the roads, in waterlogged areas and just refusing to move after that. What exactly happens to these vehicles, in the monsoon season? To help us understand that, I have with me today Mr. Amitabh Jain, who heads the motor underwriting and claims at ICICI Lombard. Hi, Amitabh.
Hi.
What is hydrostatic lock and why does it occur in vehicles during the monsoon season?
Hydrostatic lock is a phenomena which occurs when water ingresses into an internal combustion engine through the air intake valve and gets into the cylinder. Once the water enters the cylinder, water being incompressible, the piston cannot move beyond a point, and this causes a lock or a seizure that happens in the engine. This is generally referred to as hydrostatic lock. What happens is that when a vehicle passes through a pool of water or any waterlogged area, there are chances that the water ingresses the cylinder of the engine through the air intake valve, and since water is incompressible, it doesn't allow the piston to move beyond a point. If engine is continuously cranked thereafter, then there are chances that the cylinder wall, the piston and the connecting rod can get damaged and thus cause engine seizure. That's the phenomena which is also referred to as hydrostatic lock in motor technical terms.
Why don't insurance companies provide cover for hydrostatic lock as part of their regular comprehensive motor policy?
In the standard policy, comprehensive own damage policy, this loss is referred to as a consequential loss and is not covered as part of the policy. It is a consequential loss because per se the water ingression had not caused the loss in the engine. It is because of the continuous cranking that a driver does, the loss happens, and therefore it is referred to as a consequential loss and not covered under the comprehensive policy.
Does hydrostatic lock occur with specific vehicle types of vehicles, or is it applicable to all types of vehicles?
So it's the same thing that happens even in premium cars, typically more so in those cars because they have lower ground clearance, and the chances of water getting ingressed in the engine is higher because they have huge suction pressures, and given the lower clearance from the ground, even if the water is say up to the level of the lower end of the door, then there are chances that the water will get sucked in.
Does hydrostatic lock damage the entire engine or some parts of the engine?
No, it depends on from engine to engine and how much damage has occurred. What happens is that for most engines, child parts are not available, and in that case, even if the damage is to say only a few parts, the entire engine or half the engine might have to be replaced.
I have an electric vehicle. Do I need to buy this add-on cover for hydrostatic lock?
No, an electric vehicle does not have a internal combustion engine. It runs directly through a motor which is powered by battery, so it does not require this cover.
Does hydrostatic lock damage the entire engine or some parts of the engine?
No, it depends on from engine to engine and how much damage has occurred. What happens is that for most engines, child parts are not available, and in that case, even if the damage is to say only a few parts, the entire engine or half the engine might have to be replaced.
What should a vehicle owner basically do when he's driving through waterlogged area? Are there any precautions that somebody can take in these kind of situations?
The precaution that vehicle owners and drivers need to take is that when such a event happens, they should not try to crank the engine again and again, thereby causing severe damage to the engine. Generally, if the water is ingressed and no cranking is done, the vehicle is towed to the nearest workshop, the engine can be flushed out, the water can be flushed out, and the engine can be dried and put back into normal working condition without any major loss. That's a simple procedure and it's not very costly. But if the engine gets damaged, the loss can be very high.